So my grandma was a Palestinian refugee in 1948. She fled her home. It's a very sad story, but she went to Beirut, met my grandpa there, so I find it romantic because her being a refugee gave him his opening line. He just like, want to come back to my place? She's like, you have a place? Mom, Dad, this guy has a place. Let's go. And now 70 years later, I'm doing my part as an Arab American to promote peace in the Middle East. I'm dating an Israeli woman. And you should be happy for me, okay? She's beautiful. She's out of my league, man. I'm like, why are you settling? Why? It's got me occupied. We share a joint account at Bank of the West Bank. You know what I'm talking about now? It's a metaphor. Israel-Palestine's a very tricky situation. Can't deny that. It's tricky because the Palestinians are mad at the Israelis for taking their land. So then they'll throw rocks, but they're just giving them more land, you know? Like, we got to hold on to those rocks. That's how Israel keeps getting bigger and bigger, you know? It's very confusing, you know? It's been 70 years, the Palestinians are still in disbelief. Like, this cannot be real. And the Jews are like, no, this is real. Very confusing. Here's my idea for a solution for America. Baseball game. Israel versus Palestine. Think about it. This will give America a reason to start caring about Israel-Palestine. Sports are the one thing where we'll show up to the field when we know nothing about the people on the field. We'll be wearing the jerseys. People wear like a Star of David on a cap, Palestinian flag, with like fear the beard, you know? It could go either way. Finally, the kosher hot dogs would make sense, you know? And what a great matchup. Both teams have advantages, right? The Palestinians got the pitching arm, right? Israel's good at stealing bases. And they're both just trying to find their way home. Oh, it's time for a change-up, huh? Take me out to the ball game, Israel versus Palestine. Buy me some hummus and falafel. I don't care if this song is awful, so just root for the Middle East. If they can't find peace, it's a shame, 'cause there's 1-2 state solution at the Obeid game.
When I started comedy, I was pretty poor, man. I ate peanut butter out of a jar every day. I would have a scoop of peanut butter for breakfast. For lunch, I would have 2 scoops, and then for dinner, I would get chips at a local taqueria for free, and then I would dip them in the peanut butter. The taqueria hated me. I never ordered anything. I just got chips. And now, you know that I've moved up. I'm doing well, because I do the exact same thing, but with almond butter. I moved up the nut hierarchy. Everybody knows there's a hierarchy of nuts. Peanuts are at the bottom. You know peanuts are at the bottom. They're not even a nut, bruh. They're a legume. That's a knockoff nut right there. That's a bean posing as a nut. It's a sneaky bean. That's why Mr. Peanut wears a top hat and a monocle. He's in disguise. And they're deadly. You know, peanuts can kill 1% of the population. 1%, not the 1%, unfortunately. But a 1%. I feel bad for the peanut allergy people, man. You get nervous in every Thai restaurant you go into. You can't even have a PB&J. You can only have a J. And then people make fun of them, too. It's always like the older generation who doesn't get it. Like, what's up with these peanut allergy? Back in my day, we didn't have that. Like, yeah, you did. They just died. That's what happened. So you got peanuts at the bottom, then you move up the nut hierarchy. The first nut is the cheapest. You know, it's hazelnut. If you eat Nutella, you think you're fancy. You're still at the bottom of the nuts. After hazelnut, you have pistachios. Pistachios, which are the nut of every Middle Eastern dad. If your dad doesn't eat pistachios, he eats Middle Eastern. Pistachios, you eat them, it goes straight to your chest hair. Doesn't matter you will grow chest hair with pistachios. So after pistachios, you have walnuts. Now you're in the middle. Walnuts are like the wall between the poor nuts and the expensive nuts. Walnuts are the wall of the nuts. Or just a good term to describe somebody who loves walls. You're a walnut. Which is 70 million Americans. But so you have the walnuts. And above that, now you're at the first rich nut. You got the cashews. Cash, bro. Cashews. Now you're rolling in it. You got cashew butter, you're like, I don't even need to eat them one by one. I just smash them. Once you get above cashews, almonds, right? That's where I'm at right now. Almond butter, bro. I take that seriously. I heard a woman at the store call them almonds. I was so angry, dude. I'm like, it's not named after a guy named Al, okay? It's almond for all of us. If you call almonds almond, you can leave right now. Almonds? Who calls it that?
They shook the hell out of the L.
I prefer that to almonds, believe me. but I don't know what to do with that. So you got your ammons here, right? You got your ammons. Listen, let's just make amends. You got your ammons right here. And then above the ammons, you have pine nuts. Pine nuts, you know, are expensive because you can eat 1 million of them and you still don't even feel a thing. You ever bought pine nuts before? You buy a little pack for $10. Now, at the top, who knows what you got there? Macadamia, Return of the Mac. Macadamias, the OG Mac Daddy of nuts. This is how you know, they're not even a nut, they're a seed. That's at the bottom of the nuts, you have beans. At the top, you got seed. Like, I'm not even a nut, I'm a seed, bro. They just call me a nut for fun. You know why macadamia nuts are so expensive? Because macadamia trees take 10 years to develop. So you're like, I'm gonna start a macadamia farm. All right, let's do it. 10 years, let's wait. You know someone who has a jar of macadamia nut butter in their house? Befriend that person. They are loaded. That's my goal, is the mac butter, okay? I know you're thinking, why did he just explain to us financial hierarchy nuts? There is a point. What I'm trying to say, in a nutshell, is that there are A-list nuts, there are B-list nuts, there are C nuts, and there are D-list nuts. She got it. You got to it. Point.
The 51st date, as in this one?
Whoever gives me my guns.
Whoever gives me my guns. I like it. You can't steal this land that we already stole, yeah? Yeah, what's his last name? Polyamorous, huh? Yeah. Is that the correct pronunciation? I don't know if we need you guys anymore. I think that... but I still have time left. So what do you guys want to talk about? Tariffs? Oh, shit, that's what's on your mind. The whole time you're like, when's he going to talk about the tariffs? When?
About China.
Sure, I'll talk about, okay. What are you, Trump? What's that? Sure, let's bring him back. Holy I should have asked at the beginning because I was like way off on you guys. I was like, oh, they're probably going to talk about like, you know, what's going on in the world. They're like, no, O.J. Simpson. And all of us are importers, exporters. Talk about tariffs now. I have a trade contract with China. But no, this is a full-on economics crowd. I will say it's a, you know, a silver lining to the Trump presidency is all of my friends like are now very aware of what government does. Like all last year, my friends were like, let's get brunch, you know, and now they're like, the government has 3 branches, executive, legislative, and judicial. There are 27 amendments in the Constitution. And it's all, everybody learned what a tariff was this year. It's awesome. Yeah. Tariff is just a nice way to say tax without saying tax. It's like the Netflix and chill of taxing. So what do you want to do? Come back to my house? Let's tariff. Another word for tariff is, it's also called duty, right? That's why when you go to the airport, you get things duty-free. So you can also be, you can also say it's tariff-free, you know? It's also called customs. It's crazy because whenever you go to another country, you have to go through customs, right? And they say, are you going to declare some stuff? And you always lie and say no. And bring like $100,000 of gold in your backpack and say, I do not declare anything. Because if you did declare it, you'd have to pay customs, which is a tariff. Now, obviously, Trump loves tariffs because I think his base just doesn't want to look up the word. Because the essence of being a conservative is wanting lower taxes. So you wouldn't want a tariff because the deception is that a tariff is placed on another country or people in another country, when that's not the case because the tariff is placed on the process and whoever's involved in the process ends up absorbing that cost at some point in the chain. So that's why tariffs can be very flimsy, because often you can impose a tariff and then the country can retaliate with their own policy, or someone's going to raise their prices and change things. They're very flimsy, you know? That's why tariffs they're like hairs. They tear if you pull them, you know what I'm saying? That joke's going to kill for children, okay? It's my children's economics class. I believe the discussion is 25% tariffs on some of your products. 25%. Does anybody know the actual conversion rate for Canadian to US?
1.45.
Oh.
Dude, total economics crowd. Like 1.1475 seconds. It's irrational, like pi. It's pi minus 2. 1.1415. Whatever. God damn, I'm killing in my own head right now. So 1.14, interesting, okay.
1.4.
Oh, 1.4. Oh, you guys are dude. Oh man. No wonder my joke didn't make sense. I thought you guys said 1.14. See, now the pi joke's funny, right? So 1.14, and then you would impose a tariff on something. So yeah, if you sorry. I'm still living in 2 minutes ago. I'm trying to have hope for you guys. Yeah, you have to believe the exchange rate is going down. You do. You have to believe. When was the last time that we were dollar for dollar? 2008? That was a great year. Great year economically. Wow. Where do we go from here? Apparently.
China.
What's that? Section 35 of the Canadian Constitution says what?
What does it say?
Oh, what does it say? You're asking me? Yeah. Yes, smart What do you fuck? What is the 35th Amendment or 35th? 35th, Section 35. What does Section 35 of the Canadian Constitution say? Quick. What is that?
Aboriginal and treaty rights.
Aboriginal and treaty rights. Let's go. What rights are those, though?
Métis, Inuit, and First Nations.
What's that?
Métis, Inuit, and First Nations.
What do they get? What rights?
Question.
We don't know. Is that where it stops? Is that what the 35 Section 35 is? Indigenous people are really cool. Are we gonna give them anything? Section 36. Canadians, man. Canadians, cool. What's that? The 51st state, as in this one? Is there anyone here that's pro? Pro merger? You can't steal stolen land? So you're like, we want to keep our own stolen land? Is that the mentality? Yeah, that's right. You can't steal this land that we already stole. Yeah? If you don't believe me, check Section 35 of the Canadian Constitution. I love Canada because you guys aren't good at solving problems, but you're great at acknowledging them. You are literally the queen of acknowledgement. That's why you need you a Canadian friend. You know what I mean? If you can't swim and you fall into the ocean, you're like, help! They're like, you're drowning. I would like to acknowledge that you're drowning in stolen water that belongs to the Inuit tribes. I would save you, but I'm not going to save you out of stolen water.
China's AI that made America lose $1 trillion.
DeepSeek. I did a DeepSeek joke earlier tonight. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, so... What's that?
They banned all our guns.
They banned all your guns?
Yeah, we have no guns.
A while ago, right?
Yeah, 22s, because they're dangerous.
When did they ban the 22s?
In December, I think.
Oh, in December? Oh, fresh.
They surprised us.
Oh, they surprised you. Surprise! We're taking the last guns you have. Can you still get a permit to get some kind of firearms?
Hunters.
But it's what? It's what?
To be a hunter.
You have to be a hunter. Yeah, but what if you're hunting people? Does that not count? I'm a person hunter. I'm a people person. But I like to hunt. I like to hunt people.
Yeah, that's only cops.
So cops. Okay, so cops are the people hunter. So what actually takes longer, getting like a hunter's license or becoming a cop? Because I bet we could all go through training tonight, become cops, and I'll come out with AR-15s or whatever your officers use. They probably use 22s. Damn, they took your guns, huh? Did you used to have a 22?
I got lots of them. I can't shoot my rabbits anymore.
You can't shoot your rabbits anymore? Well, you don't have a permit?
I'm on a blueberry farm. I need to.
You're on a blueberry farm, and you shoot the rabbits. The rabbits are basically invaders.
Yeah, rabbits, coyotes, all the different pests. I can't shoot them now.
Hey, so we have a suggestion from a nice Canadian here. I'll help you out. She says, do you have a baton? Because maybe you can whack the rabbits in the head. Have you thought about that? You inhumane rabbit murderer! Just give them brain damage! Thank you. Whack the rabbit in the head. Be like, I acknowledge that you have brain damage now. I acknowledge this brain damage. From what? Neurodivergent bunnies, yeah. There's been a whole recent epidemic of neurodivergent bunnies coming from the blueberry farm. It just cuts to you whacking bunnies with the head. Ever since they took my 22s, I've been whacking rabbits all day. Man, you guys have it tough out here. Like, you sure you don't want to join the United States? Like, we can help you out. We could change that whole conversion problem. You could have all the guns you want. Merge with the blue states? Washington, Oregon, California. You would join forces with us? Cool. Because, well, you know, the rest of the country doesn't want us either. So we would just all be a coast. West Side? Okay, West Side? Yeah, just change our name. The West Side? Our weapon is a baton. Seriously, you guys don't want to be connected to Alberta? No? You guys don't have friends in Alberta? You're like, but you don't want that. She's like, I do, but I don't like them. But Trudeau, you know, he's stepping down, right? What does that mean? Does that mean PL going to take over? You mean PL? Who's going to take it? Carney? Mark Carney?
Whoever gives me my guns.
Whoever gives me my guns. I like it. Single issue voter right here. I like it. I like it. Love it. What's Kearney's deal? Banker? Nice. Then maybe they will restore your economy. So they're probably not too liked, right? No? Kearney? Yeah? Yeah? Like more than Trudeau. So it goes Carney, Trudeau, Pierre. Is that the correct pronunciation? You call him Pee-Pee?
Yeah, Pee-Pee.
You call him Lil Pee-Pee. Wow, the nation of maturity. You know what? I don't know if we need you guys anymore. I think that, wow.
It's his initials.
Lil Pee-Pee. Oh, Pierre, what's his last name?
Polyam.
Polyamorous, huh?
No.
Yeah. I'm Pierre Polyamory. I have multiple partners in Parliament.
Rabbit hair.
Does it really?
Lièvre.
Lièvre, his last name?
Lièvre.
Polyèvre. It means rabbit hair? This guy's triggered. Sorry, man. Polyèvre. He's like, I've been trying to shoot the polyèvre. There's polyèvre all over my blueberries. I'm a blueberry importer. Now I'm importing polyèvre every day. Break out the batons, quick. Pop, 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 pop. Who would have thought you guys came to a show promoting violence to rabbits? Shame. Everybody's clapping too. That's like, whether it's batons or guns, we all agree Palestine will be liberated one way or the other. By any means necessary. Hey, thank you so much, Vancouver. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
If nuclear war breaks out, this could be the end for them.
Blood for blood.
Rockets over Tel Aviv. Military base underneath a hospital. I mean, like, who does that? You guys ready for nuclear summer? Sorry, I'm about to go scorched earth. Too real. Okay. Let's just start with a moment of silence for the shareholders at BlackRock. If nuclear war breaks out, this could be the end for them. You know, it's really a gamble what they do. So let's pray for them. They're also my sponsors. Here's a hot take. I don't like nuclear war, okay? I think it's bad. Listen, this is open dissent, right? You know, I welcome different opinions, but, no, there's no but. I don't like war. I don't like war in general. I'm just generally not a fan of war or violence
And I never want to be the one cheering war on, even though all my Congress people do it. So I'm letting you know that I'm fighting a war within. I'm trying to find the restraint from those little tingles of joy of watching rockets over Tel Aviv. I'm trying to find the little restraint because I know I don't want to have these feelings of like wishing any kind of violence or, destruction on any people. So I urge everybody to practice having empathy for people who you may not like. And Tel Aviv was bombed this weekend, and 37 raves had to be canceled. Thousands of people with dual citizenship had to go to their other country of origin. And I don't know if you know about the Israeli government, but they put their people in danger. Apparently, they built a military base underneath a hospital. I mean, who does that? Right? Like this whole time in Gaza, Israel would just bomb things, be like, Hamas is there, Hamas is under the hospital, Hamas is under the school, Hamas is under that child right there. They would do literally all of that, and it turns out every accusation is a confession. It's reported that there's a military base under one of their giant hospitals in Tel Aviv. Is Israel Hamas? Oh my God. My mind is blown. That's not a good metaphor to use right now. But by the way, if you also get upset that I'm making jokes about Tel Aviv getting bombed, just remember, that's where my grandma's from. My grandma's from Jaffa, which is now called Tel Aviv. And so how do you think I feel watching rockets being, blown into my hometown that I can't visit? How do you think I feel? I think really what we learned in the last few days was that turns out Netanyahu was right. This whole time he was like, Iran's gonna bomb us. And look at what's happening. Look at you can't argue with that. Netanyahu was right. He's like, Iran's gonna bomb us. And we're like, no, what are you talking about? He's like, Iran's gonna bomb us. We're like, no, come on. He's like, Iran's gonna bomb us. And then it turns out all he had to do was bomb them first in preemptive self-defense. And the audacity of Iran to bomb back. People are saying, wait a second, if Iran was going to bomb you, why would you bomb them first? That's not self-defense, that's an attack. Yes, if time moves forward. You know what I'm saying? Right? That's the paradigm that you're operating in. But what if Netanyahu's in the reverse paradigm where time is backward? Then everything makes sense, right? Because this whole time you're like, why is Israel bombing Gaza? Why are they bombing Lebanon? Why are they bombing Syria? Now why are they bombing Iran? It's because if you look all the way down the line, or earlier in history, in his version, it's because eventually Israel's economy will crumble because the whole world hates them, and eventually the ethno-state will fall and become an actual democracy with equal rights for all human beings. And that's called Palestine. That's not a threat. I'm saying that's what happened in the past, in Netanyahu's mind. Okay, time in reverse. Israel attacked Iran on, why am I saying Iran? I'm talking like a politician, right? Israel attacked Iran last Thursday. Don't laugh during that part. Now it's like, these evil people. Why were they laughing? People accuse me of editing in laughter. But what they don't know is that I'm telling the audience when to laugh. So let's do that part again. Iran! So they're like, how is the audience laughing at a time like this? Fucking asshole. So Israel attacked Iran last Thursday, and they called it Operation Rising Lion. I think a better name would be Operation Aggressive Pussy. But Rising Lion, Operation Rising Lion, that's what Scar called it when he killed Mufasa in The Lion King. And you're like, no, Sammy, he pushed Mufasa off a cliff. That was falling lion. Okay, technicality. So Israel launched this preemptive attack on Iran. And now you have all these American politicians like, I stand with Israel. Like, well, not too close, buddy. Of course, Israel kindly offered us an invitation to join in the war against Iran. It was very nice of them. But of course, the United States declined because we're too busy having our hands tied with orchestrating the whole war in the first place. Yeah, if you want proof, this is a real thing. I saw it on the internet. The night that Israel attacked Iran, there was a spike in pizza sales right next to the Pentagon. Yeah, and apparently there's an app that tracks that, and they've measured that happens every time some giant military operation happens that the United States claims not to be involved with. But apparently the Pentagon staff is pulling all-nighters and ordering from every pizza spot imaginable. Which kind of makes sense, right? Because the US government just wants a pizza of the Middle East. You know what I mean? For years, there's been this back and forth with Israel and Iran, right? And every time, Iran has to end up exhibiting the restraint, right? You've seen it. Like, Israel has bombed with inside Iran before, and Iran will like send a bunch of rockets that'll just like do a parade and scare people and nothing will happen. So I thought, okay, Iran's gonna do the restraint thing again, very calm. And then I woke up Friday morning and I noticed that Iran's military has a Twitter account. Yeah, and I checked, it's real. I asked Grok and everything. Iran has a verified military account, and it's all in English, which is quite scary. They know who their target audience is, basically. They're speaking directly to us. And so I woke up the next morning like, oh, Iran's going to show restraint. They always do. They're calm. You know what I mean? I know so many Iranian people. They're so calm, you know? And then I wake up and I look at Iran's Twitter account, and it's like blood for blood. And I was like, oh, shit. It's about to get real, dude. Follow the account. They're just basically talking mad the whole time in English. It's crazy that this is how war is in 2025. Right? Can you imagine like if Japan had a Twitter account in the 1940s? Like Pearl Harbor, do you hear a buzz coming? Like, what? Pray for Japan. It's kind of how it would be, right? Like if you're familiar with World War II, Pearl Harbor was a preemptive attack because they couldn't work out a deal with negotiations, so Japan felt like they had to attack. You know, that would be like nowadays our politicians would be like, I stand with Japan, you know, and I love Japan, great country. I didn't know them back then, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, how did that whole thing end up for them? Okay, that's bad joke. Iran does not have nukes, okay? They've said it many times. The UN has inspected them. There's not nukes there, okay? Like for years, Israel was like, Iran's got nukes, they're making nukes. And Iran's like, no. America's like, Iran has nukes. And Iran's like, no, we don't. And then they sent in inspectors and they're like, yeah, they got no nukes. And the Ayatollah's like, I told ya. See, everything's got to have a punchline, right? Because it should be farcical. Oh, I like that. That's good. That's good. Such an elite reference, though. It's very farcical. You know, I love that. So Iran, they have a nuclear program, but there's literally no evidence of nukes. I don't know. I mean, I guess we could give the benefit of the doubt to somebody who's claiming that there's weapons of mass destruction in a Middle Eastern country. I don't know if there's ever been any precedent of that we should pay attention to historically. But I'm just going to do clean slate in my mind. If someone says we have weapons of mass destruction, I'm going to be like, yup, let's go get them. Iran does not have nukes. They have a nuclear program where they're currently enriching uranium. Okay, uranium, which is one of the possibilities to make a nuclear bomb, but it has to be a certain level of enrichment. I might be wrong about this, but it has to be like 65% enrichment, and they're only at 63. Okay, so okay, they're close, Okay, but they're not fully enriched. You know what I'm saying? The irony here is that uranium is an element on the periodic table, and its periodic letter, what do you call it? Its letter? Periodic. Its periodic symbol? That's so dumb. And its periodic symbol is just you, right? Which makes sense. It's typical Israel, always making it about you. Whatever. But we're talking about potential nuclear weapons, okay? Now, why are they called nuclear? Okay, because nuclear refers to the nucleus of an atom. And to make a nuclear explosion, you either have to have nuclear fission or nuclear fusion, meaning you either have to break up a nucleus or you have to merge two nuclei together. And I think this is actually a metaphor for the nuclear family. Because right now, the birth rate in America is lower than ever before. And we don't have the same old traditional family values that we had back when we were actually dropping nuclear bombs in the 1940s. Right? Go nuclear, go nuke. It's like, go nuclear in, go nuclear out. You know what I mean? Nuclear within, nuclear without. What I'm saying is stop tearing apart the nuclear family. That's a message for ICE, actually. Oh, now you're on board. Now you like it. So Iran does not have nuclear weapons, and in fact, they allow their country to be inspected. Israel, on the other hand, does not. Did you know that? Israel does not allow, and so again, I'm against nuclear war, okay? And I guess it makes sense in theory that not everybody should have nuclear weapons. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I should have a nuclear weapon. You know what I mean? I get a little hangry sometimes. You know? So I get it. Not everybody should have a nuclear weapon. And then you're like, well, Sammy, then we need somebody to decide who gets a nuclear weapon and who doesn't. I'm like, okay, logistically that makes sense. Well, then who should it be? The country that bombs the most other countries in the world? No, it should be like Switzerland or something. You know what I mean? Like, it should be like Hawaii. You know, like, I think Hawaii should decide who gets bombed and who doesn't. Right? Mahalo. We know at the end of the day that, like, this whole conquest of the Middle East goes beyond one country or one government or one political party. It goes deeper into the Western world's economic imperialism of the world. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's not just about the Middle East. You see it, you see it in Asia, you see it in Ukraine, like you see it in all these other places in the world. And in this particular instance, we're fixated, or we claim to be, caring about uranium. The irony here is that when uranium is oxidized, it actually appears as a black rock. Was that a truth bomb or was it nuclear?
I've been eating plant-based, which means I eat only plants or animals that eat plants. It's not fair that vegans get to claim that whole term, right? I eat plant-based. Like, dude, if I ate an animal, that animal ate a plant. I am based from plants, okay? I could eat a vegan and still be plant-based. Do you see what I'm saying? I would eat a vegan. They're probably delicious. Like, I'm not gonna hunt a vegan, but if one died, that's good grass-fed meat right there. You kidding me? You had grass-fed before? It's delicious. I'm gonna share it with all my friends. Like, this is good. Is this vegan? Like, yeah, it's vegan. Oh, like Impossible Burger? He was very difficult at times. So. I was a vegetarian myself for 2 years. Then I discovered the vegetable called medical marijuana. I took one hit. I got so high, I completely forgot I was a vegetarian and ate 2 rotisserie chickens all to myself. I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Oh, man. I was dating a girl. She's like, oh, my God, I'm so glad you're over 6 feet. I'm like, I'm so glad you can't measure. I'm 5'11". What is... I still see a lot of women requesting a guy 6 feet or taller. It's always, I get to know you, just demand how much of a person you want. It's crazy. We're one of the only countries that still uses standard. Everywhere else in the world, that's 182.88 centimeters. You think women in Europe, like, I want a guy who's 182.88 to the 100th, no more, no less. No, they probably round down to 180 at least, give a little more wiggle room, you know? Oh, it's like short women too. I want a guy who's 6 feet or tall. Like, you're 5'0". How much clearance do you need? That's some Napoleon levels of just, I want to conquer as much man as possible. And it's totally acceptable. And yet if I demanded a woman a foot shorter than me, I'm the biggest creep in the world. On my Tinder, I'm just like, I want a woman who's 4'11" or shorter. I want to be able to look straight ahead and not even see her. But just know that she's there. That's the kind of love I want, the kind that you can't see but you can hear occasionally, yeah. There's no big spoon, little spoon with me. It's a teaspoon next to a ladle. That's how I want it to be. I want a hobbit from the Shire, okay? She wears heels. I go out barefoot every night. She wants to kiss me. She got to leap up like a dolphin catching some fish like that. I want to walk around the house and be like, is that a piece of furniture? No, that's the love of my life. And that would be totally okay.
I am running for president in 2036. Yeah. If you don't have a candidate for 2036, I'll be there. I'm actually the only person running right now, so I'm already winning technically. Let me tell you, 2036, I'm going to create a line at the grocery store specifically for our elderly. That's right, because I care. I think our elders deserve respect, and they deserve their own line at the grocery store, which is fully equipped to handle check after check after check after check after check, and coupons, all the coupons under the sun, even if they don't belong to this particular store. All those coupons will be readily checked by this person who will take the time with each of these customers. And meanwhile, you'll fly by in your special lane. Just like we have a 12 items or less line, we'll have a 12 years or less left line, okay? Operate efficiently at the grocery.
I have the honor of bringing on stage right now is someone you all know, you all love. It's the mayor of Dearborn. Everybody give it up for Mayor Hamoud. Where are we? Oh, there he is. There he is. Thank you so much.
Good evening. What did you guys think of the show? You know, I have the distinct honor of serving as the mayor of the greatest city in the whole country, the city of Dearborn, Michigan. And on behalf of the city, on behalf of our council, on behalf of the 110,000 beautiful residents, I wanted to present you with a proclamation to honor you. And honestly, as somebody who follows your work, I want you to know that you inspire more than just average, you know, the regular, everyday individual, but you inspire individuals such as myself to be prouder, to be louder, to ensure that we speak truth to justice no matter what we're facing. And we're thankful that you use your art form to build the bridge, to build connections, and to hopefully end the ignorance that's rampant all across the globe. So thank you. We also got this City Challenge coin. If you take it to Tahamas, you can get 10% off.
Yeah! Sammy! Sammy! Sammy!
One more round of applause.
One more hand for your amazing mayor, Abdullah Hamoud. Wow. Wow. Honestly, don't even know what a proclamation does, but I feel so proclaimed right now. I feel so proclaimed. I'll just read kind of quickly, really, just, well, this is all about me. It's like, whereas Sammy Obeid, a Lebanese, Palestinian, Syrian, Italian-American comedian, born in Oakland, California, has built an illustrious career. Oh, this is so sweet. And then it ends with basically saying, now, therefore, I, Abdullah Hamoud, Mayor of the City of Dearborn, by virtue and the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim July 10th, 2025, that's today, in honor of Sammy Obeid on the evening of his performance at the Ford Community Performing Arts Center in Dearborn, and encourage all residents to join in celebrating his remarkable talent and contribution to the art of comedy. Wow. 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 encouraging all residents to join in. That's like an after party? Is that an after party? And then he's like, and then 10% off at this. That's so. Yeah, is that what it is? Oh, amazing. Oh, okay. Well, already, don't tear it down right in front of me. Let me enjoy my 10% off. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Dearborn to be affixed on this 10th day of July, 2025. That is so official, dude. That is so official. That is so cool. And honestly, guys, sandwiches on me later. Sandwiches on me. I'm gonna get us all sandwich. It's so cool. It's closed. Well, thanks for ruining it. Wow. So you guys have a pretty decent Somali population here in Minnesota, right? Probably the biggest of the nation. And you might even have a Somali mayor. Might even happen. I hope you do. It's gonna piss a lot of people off. I really hope you do. What's that? You're here? Get the fuck! Come on, dude! Come on! Come on! Come on! Dude! 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 Wow! Look at this! Look at this! Amazing! My brother, thank you for coming. Of course, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing. You hear me? I mentioned you in the beginning of the show.
That's what I was told. Yes.
Oh yeah, of course. He's out doing things. Yeah. First of all, you just feel free to say hi to the crowd. I mean, if you want to.
How's everyone doing tonight? I want to appreciate all of you. My name is Omar Fateh. I'm running for mayor of Minneapolis. I'm currently a state senator representing Southside Minneapolis District 62. And I'm running on a similar platform to our brother Zoran, right? Making the city more affordable. And also some real police accountability, right? This is Sammy's night. I'm not going to take too much time, but I'll say one last thing. Tomorrow is the DFL convention. The Democratic Party will be endorsing one candidate. And we don't know, it might be us tomorrow, right? So come up to the Target Center if you can come watch. I'd love to have your support. Please follow along at fatehformayor.com. The team is back there as well, and I want to say thank you to Sammy. Give it up for Sammy as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys here at the beginning of the show, I was like, I want to get my photo op with that guy. And then boom, shows up mid-show. Manifestation. It's all about manifestation. And I'll tell you what, Omar, even if you don't get the Democratic endorsement, you keep going, bro. You keep going. You keep going. I would like to think that this promotional spot helped his career a little bit. I would like to think this swung the election. And that's how I lost my job at CBS. What a night. What a night for New Hope. What a night. Yeah, we're in New Hope. That's where we are. You forgot. This is the new Minneapolis. It's the third. Hey, shut up. Notice how St. Paul didn't chime in on that one? Telling you guys, this is our summer, exactly. It's not just about Minneapolis and St. Paul. It's about, again, we're not the twins anymore. We're the triplets. Okay, we got to work together as a trio. But amazing. That's so awesome. I hope more political candidates come to my shows. I do.
First of all, I think America doesn't know a lot about Palestinian people, and that's probably because America needs someone famous from a group to know about a race, right? And you think who are famous Palestinians?
nobody really knows them. You have like Yasser Arafat and Jesus, and it's like, who are those guys? I've never heard of them. Oh, and DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled is actually ours too. Yeah. We're giving them away though. You can have them. But isn't that crazy though? The two most famous Palestinians in history are Jesus and DJ Khaled. They're very similar when you think about it. Jesus and DJ Khaled. In fact, when they came out with the New Testament, they were like, another one. I know a lot of people do get upset with that joke because I say Jesus was Palestinian. A couple things about this, okay? First of all, the name Palestine traces back to a root that goes before Jesus' time. In fact, Syria Palestina was what the Romans and Greeks called the broader area, so it was a term that existed, but Jesus specifically was born in Judea, and he was ethnically Jewish. But he was born in the land that is now Palestine, because Bethlehem is in the West Bank of Palestine. So if someone's born here in America 2,000 years ago, we call them Native American. By the same logic, Jesus is Native Palestinian. And yes, he's Jewish. He was ethnically Jewish. Jesus was Jewish and Palestinian. He was the solution to the Middle East in one person. Yeah. This isn't a sermon, don't worry. I'm just saying we know Jesus was Jewish because he didn't celebrate the Christian holidays, right? He didn't do Christmas. He really didn't like Easter. Definitely did not do Easter. Every Christmas Eve, he'd be at a Chinese restaurant locally. Like he was, for sure, he was Jewish. And we know Jesus was Palestinian because he broke out of a cave in a matter of 3 days. That requires a tunnel. We know this. Jesus was Jewish and Palestinian. And black, for sure, he was black. It is nice that America's finally like waking up and becoming aware of how serious this issue and how this issue affects all of us. Watching everything fall apart in the last few weeks has been extremely disheartening. I know I come off as like, I know how to put on a game face for shows, but I've been really depressed. There's people right now who are suffering a deeply tragic situation. People are being killed right now, and we are not over there. We are here in the first world, and so I think it is important for us to remember that we should not be the ones adding fuel to the fire. We should be helping. We should be stopping this madness. That's my opinion. Okay. What the Palestinians are going through right now is by definition of a genocide. You can get upset with that if you want, but a lot of people are like, oh, you're changing the definition of genocide. No, you didn't know what the definition of genocide was. You have to look it up. It turns out there's been a lot of genocides that you didn't think about because that's the definition of genocide. Here's the positive part. The Palestinian people are strong. The Palestinian people are very, very strong. They're the only ones who could be surviving this madness. We have good, innocent civilians fighting for their lives against the deprivation of basic human rights. Like, we're going to cut off their food. We're going to cut off their water. It's like, have you heard of Ramadan? They've been training for this their whole lives. You're messing with the wrong folks. This just brings them closer to God. Can you imagine if the people who controlled America's water and food cut off our water and food? We'd be storming the Capitol tomorrow. We'd be eating each other on day 3. The vegans would go first. You'd have like 10 January 6th at the Capitol. We'd be eating Nancy Pelosi right in front of her. Can you imagine if people blacked out our internet? Gen Z's head would explode the first day. There couldn't even be a genocide. There'd be a mass suicide before it even started. So people are suffering, and the least we can do is try and help and try to create an aura of peace. And this also means seeing through propaganda. There's a lot of propaganda going on right now that's trying to destroy the character of a lot of different people and divide us all. You have to understand, there's propaganda that's making Arabs look bad. It's a full-on smear campaign against Arabs. And the same thing for Jewish people, too, a smear campaign. If you're Arab, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, you need to know that we are being divided and we are being torn apart by fucking warlords right now. This is not us. This is not reflective of our people, of our histories. And, correct me if I'm wrong, plus or minus, but there's about 7 million Jews in Israel, and there's about 7 million Palestinians. Could be plus or minus, could be about 6 to 7. Jewish people want a Jewish state. Palestinian people want a Palestinian state. There's only a couple ways it's going to happen. There's either going to be 2 states, there's going to be 1 state where the land is shared, or there's going to be a genocide. Be on the team of not choosing genocide. That's all the basic premise is don't choose the genocide. Mathematically, the land is to be shared, not taken. I wrote that myself when I was high. The land is to be shared, not. I wish we could just spread the whole world like a CBD mist over the whole world at one time. But nobody would allow that. You couldn't get that clearance through the government. You'd have to just a full-on grassroots movement to just. And an indica too. No sativa bullshit. We don't need more anxiety in this world. Just spray the whole world down with an indica, get everybody into couch, and then we can have a real conversation. Trust me, and I've been making bits about the situation for many, many years. It's very hard to do it without being a complete downer and also without coming across as insensitive. I also choose my words very carefully. And you can never satisfy everybody. You know, people are always going to get offended by one thing you might say. And then there's the other camp of people who are like, you didn't go hard enough. Somebody asked me, why don't you make jokes about Israel? I usually say Palestine because you can often get in trouble for criticizing Israel. That's the other thing, too. People aren't pronouncing the names right. That's a really annoying thing. I heard somebody call it Palestine. Like, this isn't Ohio, bro. Like, I heard somebody call it Gaza. Like, no, it's Gaza. Or if you're Arab, say Gaza. Yeah. Or as Israelis say, Hamas. Even Israel too. You have these southern politicians like, Israel. I stand with Israel. Like, dude, if you stand with them, say it how they say it. They say it Israel. Or as Arabs call it, Palestine. Like, just learn the names. Learn the names. But my friend was like, why don't you make jokes about the Israeli military? Are you scared? I'm like, no, I'm an American. I pay taxes. I can make fun of anybody I support, right? The reason I don't make fun of the Israeli military, it's because I've tried before and it's failed. I posted a joke about the Israeli military and everybody hated it. Even Palestinians were like, take it down. So I did. I listened to the people. I didn't give up. I tried again. I posted another joke about the Israeli military and people were like, don't quit your day job, which hurts because I don't have a day job. So I took it down. But I never give up. That's the perseverance of the Palestinians. I posted another one. People flagged it so much, Instagram took it down. So yeah, I don't do that. Because when the people beg me to stop bombing, I stop. All right, just want to make sure. I'm not bombing right now, right? I just want to make sure I'm not bombing or my jokes didn't go up into the air and misfire. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page here.
They hit Luigi with the terrorism charge. Yeah. It's like, what, dude, that's our thing. Come on. That's our thing. You just giving it to Italians now? Come on. Come on. Italians, you're part of the gang now. You're part of the, you're part of the compound, okay? Yeah, they're just like, whatever. They look the same, you know? They both use olive oil, you know? That's what they're both from the Mediterranean. It's Mediterranism, whatever, you know what I mean? They're just... Now, I guess, Arab, Italian, we're interchangeable now. So, Arabs were mafia too. Yeah. 9/11, forget about it. You know? Okay. All right. I wouldn't call Luigi to terrorism, man. I mean, you could say he had a mission, and he definitely gave up the rest of his life to do that, and it was a violent mission, and he did it, and you know, so you could say it was a Luigi jihad, and he was radicalized by back pain, you know. Allegedly, by the way, allegedly. Yes, I gotta say allegedly. We haven't matched the eyebrows yet. Yeah. You guys all saw there was like footage and then pictures of him. You're like, wait a second, those eyebrows. Can you believe there was even a conversation like, did his eyebrows go back in 3 days? You could only have that question about an Arab or Italian person. That's an exclusively Arab or Italian problem, wondering if the eyebrows possibly grew back between the time of the crime and the time of apprehension. It's for sure a unique olive oil problem. But yes, I noticed this issue has a generational divide, okay? So are there any Gen Z people in here? Gen Z? Okay, one Gen Z people here. What? Two? Oh, you guys are raising your hand. What, you think you're going to be targeted here or some I'm looking around this room. A lot of y'all are young as so obviously there's some Gen Zers here. You're Gen Z. Gen Z loves the Luigi. They already got like Luigi tattoos, right? He's their hero, right? Millennials, we're a little more coy with it. We're like, I see what he did there. I see what he did there. Gen X is like, I don't want to be involved in this. I'm just going to go to my room. And then boomers like, he's a murderer. This is an atrocity. Capitalism makes the world go round. You know what I mean? It's like a big generational divide. Sorry if that offends any boomers who are like, I like him. And listen, I get it. You have a guy who was shot. I'm not glorifying that. I'm just making jokes. And I've already made a bunch of jokes, and people have been getting on my case. One guy commented on my Luigi jokes, like, you know, a wife lost a husband. And I was like, wait a second. I looked it up. Brian Thompson separated from his wife in 2018. Yeah, they weren't even together. They were gonna get divorced eventually. So if anything, this kind of... Let's be honest. In which case does she get a better settlement, right? And let's be honest. If anything, she should be suspect number one. Like, why are we not looking at that? They've been separated for 6 years, at least. That's crazy. And they were likely, obviously, seeing other people. So, yes, if anything, a side piece somewhere lost a sugar daddy. And I feel for that, okay? I once dated a woman who owned her own salon. It was very nice. She would take me out to dinner all the time. And then I lost her because she broke up with me. But that, I can't fully relate, but I get how that could suck, okay? Okay? But yeah, I just don't really buy that argument. Now, somebody hit me with a good one, you know, and this is the one that you hear a lot, and it's a real point. You should take it to heart. And this guy was like, you know, somewhere 2 little children are without a father. And I did look it up. They're 16 and 19. It's a little demeaning to call them little children. Let's be honest, okay? They are nearly grown adults, okay? And it's horrible to lose your father. This is a horrible thing. And furthermore, horrible to hear about like why his father was killed and what he was involved in and all these things that might be haunting them for the rest of their lives. And that's a horrible thing. And I sympathize for those 2 teenagers, wherever they are. I really can't imagine what it is to deal with that kind of pain and grief and suffering. However, they're the only 2 people who would be the reason why I wouldn't make jokes. You know what I'm saying? And I do like to keep people in mind, but you're going to say because of 2 people, I'm not even allowed to cover this topic. You know, as a comedian, my job is to cover the most relevant, sometimes controversial social topics. And you're saying I can't cover this because of 2 people? That's f***ed up. And you know what that is? That's denial of coverage. So... So I do send my love and condolences to anybody who's actually physically mourning this human being, okay? But I do think we should address the larger topic, which is how f***ed up our healthcare system is. And the symbolism here is that Luigi was 26, and that's right when you're off your family's health insurance, okay? Right? It's not ironic. That's the age that radicalizes people now. You know what I mean? Because that's when life gets real, you know? Because they say you become an adult when you're 18. That's not true anymore. It's when you're 26 now. That's when you're on your own. Yeah, that's when YOLO for real. You know what I mean? Like 18, you just get cooler and cooler rights. They get cooler and then they start to dip off at 26. Like 18, you can smoke, you can vote. Yeah, nicotine democracy. Woo, right? 21, you can drink. Ah! 25, you can rent a car. You're invincible. GTA. Ah! And then 26, off your family's health insurance. It's like, what? You just got me drinking, driving, and smoking. I need that health insurance back, like now. You took it from me at the worst time. It's all by design, to make money. It has to be. So that's why, if I were president, I would like to be a leader who actually cares about people. So what I would do, I would put everybody back on their family plan until they're 65. 65, yeah. I call it the millennial Gen Z solution. 65, All the millennials and Gen Z are on board with this, yeah. Wouldn't you want to be on your family's plan until 65? I think that would be awesome. It would also keep the family unit closer together. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it would be really cool because you're on your family's plan until 65, which means your parents are clearly over 65. Trust me, I did the math. You can double check if you want. If you're on it till 65, your parents are going to be over 65 that whole time. Trust me. Which means they will be on Medicare. And so you're just getting Medicare trickled down for free. It's trickle down Medicare. So I basically found a loophole to universal health care. Yeah. So in a nutshell, what I would do is get you off Obamacare and onto Yo Mama Care. Yeah, Yo Mama Care. That's good. But yeah, say what you will about Luigi. It was a Gen Z shooting, for sure. He may have used a 3D printer for the gun. He put ironic Monopoly money in a bag. He got away on an e-bike. It was very Gen Z, okay? I actually wrote a Gen Z poem for Luigi. Do you guys want to hear it? Okay, all right. Low-key, it slaps. Trust me, it's bars. Luigi was a good student in Pennsylvania, where he was based. He then lived in Hawaii and got massive glow up until a back surgery got him shook. His book club thought he was tweaking, but he swore he passed the vibe check. So he ghosted. He was low-key salty at the medical industry for being basic. He was tired of all their fees. They were out of pocket. Valid. So he found his op and decided to clap back at the CEO, who was no girl boss, but was rather mid. That's why he did it in Midtown. He used a silencer, no cap. He unalived him, dead ass. He slayed. The CEO is saying less. RIP, 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 say less. But not many are simping for the CEO because he was bougie. It's giving Titanic submarine. But they saw Luigi in the camera, caught in 4K. He was trying to rizz up a queen, and now he's cooked. He took the Greyhound. He was bussin'. Then he got snitched on by a McCarran. They found him at the table. He ate and left no crumbs. Should have hid in the skibbity toilet. If you know, you know. He was wearing the same drip. Should have done a fit check. He had all sorts of currency, but no V-Bucks. And with a manifesto, high-key sus. Free Luigi, the stands say. Boomers cringe. But say what you will, Luigi was tired of being an NPC in a Mario world. So he switched to main character energy. Listen, we've all heard of shootings before, but you gotta admit, this one hits different. Period.